Hello, my friends. How are you? It's Jeannie. I hope you're well. Tonight's video, or whenever you're listening to this, was inspired by several emails and messages that I've gotten from some of you about going through some tough times, some hard times, some challenges. Life has a way of surprising us, right? Sometimes those surprises are wonderful and exciting, and sometimes they leave us feeling a little broken. Almost everyone, if you live long enough, will experience loss and hardship of some sort. It's inevitable. We lose our parents. We may lose a spouse. We may lose dear friends or beloved pets. And I know how much losing a pet hurts. I do know. And sometimes we lose dreams that we thought would come true. Sometimes we lose a version of ourselves that we thought would always exist. We're something, we are now something different. And we kind of mourn what we aren't, or what we thought we would be. Does that make sense? Grief is one of the few experiences that connects every single human being. No matter where we live, no matter what we believe or who we are, sooner or later we find ourselves missing someone, wishing for one more conversation, one more hug, just one more ordinary day. And when we're in the middle of that pain, it almost feels impossible to imagine life ever becoming whole again. And yet, somehow it does. Somehow it does. Not because we forget, not because the love fades, but because the heart is remarkably resilient. It slowly learns how to make room for both joy and sorrow at the same moment. Many people say that grief changes you forever, and I think that's true. But perhaps it also deepens us. It teaches us compassion. It reminds us that every single person we see, or every single person that we meet, may be carrying a story that we can't see. And if you're walking through a season of grief right now, I hope you'll be gentle with yourself. Healing doesn't happen on a schedule. There isn't a finish line. There are only small steps. Just small steps. Little by little, a sunrise may feel a little brighter. You may have a laugh come out of you that totally surprises you. Or a memory that brings a smile before bringing tears. Sometimes with loss, you wake up in the morning and it's like everything is just as it was. Everything except that familiar voice. And you reach for memories the way we reach for a familiar sweater. We look for comfort in something we once considered ordinary. There may be tears, there may be silence, there may be moments where you wonder how your heart can keep beating after it knows such loss. But hearts are remarkable things. They break, and somehow they continue to love. They do heal. The ones we cherish never really leave the places where love has made a home. They remain in the laughter they taught us, in the kindness they inspired, in the songs that still bring a smile. So when sadness visits, welcome it gently. It has come because love once lived there. And where love has lived, it leaves behind 1,000 beautiful reminders. A favorite chair, a handwritten note that you find somewhere in a drawer, in a smell like something cooking that reminds you of someone. The sound of rain against a window, a holiday tradition, a phrase you suddenly hear yourself saying or repeating, a song on the radio. That always got me. They're not accidents. They're small threads that stitch together yesterday to today. And like I said, there'll be a time when remembering those things brings more smiles than tears. And not because you've forgotten, but because love, given time, given enough seasons, learns to shine brighter than sorrow. If someone you miss could place a hand on your shoulder and speak to you, I don't think that they would want you to remain in sadness. I think they would want you to laugh again, to love again, to experience joy again. That you would take that trip or plant those flowers or bake that pie. So hold your children, your brothers and sisters and your parents, your grandchildren, your friends. Hold them close when you have the opportunity. Call an old friend. Watch a sunset. And notice how beautiful the ordinary can be. Every sunrise is an invitation not to leave the past behind, but to carry it with gratitude instead of fear or heaviness. One day, each of us will become a memory, a treasured memory in someone else's heart. And may that story we leave behind be one of kindness. May it be full of gentleness and love and goodness. So may our words be gentle. May forgiveness come easily. May our love outlive us. And until that distant morning, may we choose to notice the little miracles all around us. Notice the quiet that surrounds us, the bird that sings and chirps, the warmth of a hand held tightly, a child laughing without restraint, the fragrance of a rain, the stars keeping watch long after we've all fallen asleep. Life always asks something of us at some time or another. Sometimes it asks us for courage, sometimes patience, sometimes tears. But it also offers unexpected joys and new beginnings and reasons to hope. So if today feels heavy, be patient with your heart. Morning has a way of finding even the longest night. And when it does, you will step back into the light. Carrying precious memories, lessons learned, love, the love that you had, and not as a burden, but as a quiet gift. Yeah, as a gift that will always be beside you. And I want you to know every single day how deeply your life matters to someone, to others. I thank you for the time you spend with me. Some of it is light and soft and easy, and other times we go a bit deeper. None of us escapes hardship. I don't know many people, anyone who has. It is woven into every human life. You are not alone. You are not alone. But hardship also reveals things we may never have discovered otherwise. Our resiliency, our courage, our capacity to love deeply, and I think, importantly, our ability to help others through their darkest days and their hardest times. Because remember, it is grief sometimes that unites us. It's something we all share. Doesn't matter who we are, what our background is, where we grew up, what we had or didn't have. It is something that unites us. And so if you're hurting today, I want you to know that brighter moments will return. They come quietly, one ordinary day at a time, but they do come. And so for those who have reached out to share your grief and your pain and your hardships with me, and for those who may find that in the future, I want you to know that you will be okay. Hearts do heal. Memories do become softer. I tell my kids, enjoy, enjoy the boring platitudes of life. So, again, I thank you for spending your moments with me. for taking the time to listen and watch and be a part of my channel. And thank you for letting me know when something does help you or touch you, make you feel better. That is music to my ears. So, this is just kind of a long blah blah blah. And I hope, my hope is that it helps you to have hope. When you think about working out and working a muscle, you break that muscle down with exercise, and it hurts, but it heals and it builds up even stronger. And I think our hearts and our minds and our souls are the same way. We have such an amazing capacity to be there for others in their time of pain. So, I'm going to sign off. And I wish you wellness, healing, softness, and gentleness, especially if you're going through something difficult. All right, my friends, take care, and I will see you very soon in the next video.